At the end of your life, what will be your legacy? What will you leave behind for future generations? For the world, join the World Messenger, Izabela Lundberg, each week as she brings you a new distinguished guest from the business, sports, or entertainment world to share their success, their struggles, and their lessons. They will share their insights into current hot topics that affect everyone. Izabela facilitates an intimate, vulnerable environment to find the true value of humanity and real leadership. Are you ready for your legacy? The legacy that matters?
If you had a chance as a leader to speak and represent your company at one of the largest conferences that is happening right now in Las Vegas, CSC conference, which is the largest consumer technology conference that is happening with so many companies from major Fortune 500 to fast-growing startups, what would you say? What would you bring to the table in terms of innovation, inspiration, impact, or influence? Hi, everyone. It's Izabela Lundberg here, the World Messenger, and I'm inviting you for another epic episode of Legacy Leader Show. Based on a popular demand that everybody's looking and seeking, how can we be more inspirational, influential, impactful, and innovative? Those four elements I learned not only through my podcast here on Legacy Leader Show, but also through Legacy Magazine and major CEO masterclass that we've been conducting right now. How can we address these four elements that are actually majorly affecting every single company, either our solo entrepreneur or small, fast-growing startup that is innovating, disrupting, and creating some amazing solutions, or major player in a market as Top Guns and Fortune 500, and anything in between. We're seeing need for all four elements: innovation, influence, impact, and inspiration. If people are not having those four elements, it's been proven over and over that don't then continue to bring their A game and also be able to really navigate plethora of changes that we're seeing today. So if I want to go to pick, and when somebody asks me, Izabela, are you speaking and are you going to be able to share your thoughts at this conference? Fortunately, because of conflict and schedule, not this year. But my goal and objective is to really be able to support not only participants in the conference, but also be able to network and connect with the leaders of industry, because every parts of the industry is being tremendously impacted right now and disrupted, frankly, based on technological advancements. And of course, everybody that is at all paying any attention can see how AI is shifting and changing everything in split of the second. Since GPT came out, guess what? It took less than a week to reach to over 1 billion users. The magnitude of speed and impact, it's so hard to comprehend. And unless you're already not dabbling in as a leader and positioning to understand even concepts and implications of this technological advancements, you are already behind. This is not intended to scare you, but is intended to truly get you absolutely fully understand that you can be on the fence, and you have to find avenues and people and teams so that you can just have the right discussions and conversation to bring you and your organization in direction that is absolutely necessary for everyone to partake. So when I was asked, Izabela, how did you came across and understood, based on my Forbes article that I recently published that created a lot of dialogue and conversation. First of all, how should we lead ahead? We just started New Year. It's a 2024, and where this is supposed to be going, right? Truly depends. Where would you like to go, and what are you trying to accomplish? If you're trying to just preserve your way of doing the business as usual, as normal, that's very high risk, because it's old frameworks will not be anymore supported and will be not enough. unless we are ready to embrace an AI-driven future and also AI-driven leadership and everything else that comes as a snowballing effect as a result. Because guess what? The leadership role obviously is not going to be ever as complex, as simple, because it's going to be actually more than anything than simple in months and years to come. It requires also different ways of thinking as well as different ways of behaving. And artificial intelligence is intended to be here for us as a tool. And if we're not using this correctly, that tool, of course, is not going to serve the best purpose. Because if we don't have a sense of, first of all, how we're going to use it on our individual basis, then across the teams and overall as an organization in terms of policy, the governance, procedures, as well, tackling some of the risk associated with. People are already using on their own, and we're going to have a lot of more reactive types of protocol and decisions instead of more proactive. What I'm seeing is tremendous need for leaders to really have the dialogue with experts and decide, first of all, what that means for their own environment, but then also where the huge opportunities are, right? And where we can shift things. So what I see, I really want to point it out, that very important aspect it is that if we leverage this evolution, we can bring unprecedented opportunities that can address what I was mentioning earlier, that innovation, inspiration, impact and influence and differentiation in the global market that also can, as a result, guide and shape the organizations. So when we look at things from personal perspective, we have a chance and opportunity to adapt and adjust, get better understanding, and as a result, then make better choices and decisions and impact influence others and propose the protocols that I was mentioning that we can speak from experience. Unless we touch it, we don't know. More we resist, things are going to just put us backwards, right? The best part, what I see from leadership standpoint is that this daunting concept can truly be a great tool for your team and for yourself to bring more efficiency and expedite some, not only work that is very sensitive or very large data driven or just needs so much research output. It shows that with just the tip of the finger with the right prompts, we can truly get access to so many different points of view and perspective. And as a result, figured out these new hybrid models or hybrid avenues of how to, whatever, you name it, solve, create, position, and frankly, lead ahead. The other component that I found is extremely being helpful with leaders in conversations that we had and some of the advocacy work and advisory work that we conducted in last year was around strategic decision-making. Strategic decision-making is being all-time high right now and more than ever important without AI. So now adding AI component to that, you wanted to be able to make proper decision with great insight based on facts, based on tremendous data, based on seeing not only trends and where things are headed, but based on also what's working, what's not working, where the complexities are, how can we break them down, how we can synthesize them in a way that we can wrap our heads around, and also, as a result, anticipate what's coming and position for that tremendous success. But what is really important is too, the teams needs to be empowered and also bring these nuances of responsibility that comes with that, because we cannot obviously pretend that things are going to wait, because they are not. So the challenges are definitely complex. It's all-time high in terms of shifts from day to day, but we can navigate this with much more seasoned judgment. We can also navigate this with much better balance between intelligence and human intention, and then find this beautiful fit that is going to drive those choices and decisions in a positive light. Because guess what? Specifically, when we look at things from cultural and value perspective, when we look at things from insights that can really help us to transform organizations or the way we're doing the business, regardless whether we're working in any industry. We're seeing disruptions in healthcare. We're seeing of disruptions, or we should be seeing with first responders. We should be seeing also disruptions in education system. We have opportunities again to leverage that magic word, data. So when we do those two things correctly, we also have opportunity to cultivate something that obviously everybody's pulling their hair out, because what do we do now with workforce? What we do with all of the shifts and trends that are happening right now? And guess what? We have a tremendous opportunity more than ever to upskill our workforce, to upskill with not only trainings and education, but also to really start building future-ready leadership. As everybody knows already, anything about me, I'm gung-ho about leadership because I see how much already we have a major gaps in the leadership. Imagine how much gaps are evident of the future-ready leadership right now. As a result, it's going to have a tremendous impact that can really affect decisions and organizations reversely. Right? We want for everybody to succeed and be able to be on this journey of technological proficiencies, but also able to truly foster much needed collaboration that is happening as a result of AI through strategic partnerships and progress that needs to be made depending on what regulatory body we're dealing with. Either we're talking about legal or healthcare, or any other types of industry or technological advancements that are being impacted. And ultimately, we also wanted to see how these initiatives are creating, which everybody wants, these really clear foundations so that everybody from top to bottom in organization can feel confident and then also feel that they're competent to drive their day-to-day operation and provide stellar customer excellence. But you see, our leadership is critical, right? And it's important to face and demystify what AI is and what is not. But it's also very important to really look at how that extends beyond the boardroom to everybody else across the organization. And you have to have this last piece in order to do that, to drive innovation, because you want to have competitive edge. We're not just talking about traditional competitive edge with industry with the same companies or leaders. We're talking about foundation, because a lot of companies still are not getting, no matter what your service is and what industry might be in, you're still in technology business. Because everything we're doing today is so heavily technologically driven. For example, let's look at police. How much technology they are leveraging and utilizing today in order to get information, not only on their computers and the cars, on their cell phones, on their dispatch, on every single point in order for them to make better choices and decisions, and how much they depend not only about the speed, but also accuracy. In addition to that, how much advancement it's needed for them to comprehend utilization of some tools and cross-reference information, making sure that is accurate in terms of the data, in terms of the updates, in terms of whatever it might be. If one piece of puzzle is missing or is not working as fluently as effectively, can they do their job as effectively as they could have? How many lives in danger will be as a result of that? They cannot wait. And just because we're using this example of something that is always on the first line of defense, that doesn't mean just because we're behind in offices or working remotely that we're less affected. In fact, we have to have ways to propel our organizations to really see what else is possible. What else can we change to improve safety from cybersecurity aspects and day-to-day safety, right? But also from industry standards that are still lagging and they're not being defined yet. From the governance standpoint and opportunities where we can really add to that component as well. What incremental improvements you can do today that can make a change and shift? What groundbreaking advancement would propel you incrementally every day forward, so that is not stressful, that is not overwhelming, but yet to gain the traction, enthusiasm, excitement, because we see amazing evidence that is making our job and our life much easier. Ultimately, that is what we're trying to do here, right? And that's what we've been working here with the Legacy Leader Institute, cultivating culture where it's a lot of encouragement, inspiration, and experiential opportunities to create these unique applications of phenomenal tools that are available right now for all of us today to do our job better, to make everybody work much more effectively and efficiently, much more collaboratively, by taking and tearing down the silos and finding this big, huge secret sauce. What's in there for me? What's in there for us? And then ultimately, what's in there for our customers, for people that we serve, for people that we are here for every single day? And how is that aligning to our organizational strengths or lack of them, and where we can and how build those strengths to move things forward? Those are the questions that I constantly are being answering, and I wanted to share them with you. As a result, also, I wanted to say that we have the opportunity as leaders to ignite creativity, to motivate our teams by sharing this amazing shared vision, and to actualize AI-powered solution to redefine market standards. Just because the market standards are not there yet, it doesn't mean we cannot do the right thing and show what's possible and be influencers and create the impact, obviously, and innovate, as I mentioned, as well, to inspire others to see what's possible. I'm seeing some organizations that are stepping up so well, and as a result, already disrupting in their industries, showing what's possible, showing how far this can take us in terms of a leadership ethos, and also how we can be able to change the business. How can we be more informed? How can we be more insightful? How can we be more impactful? How can we be more innovative? And at the end of the day, how can we be more inspiring for others to do the same? So in closing, I really want to share that innovation around using AI as a new product, service, or business model is tremendous and can truly also help organizations to be more sustainable. Ultimately, everybody I talked to last year specifically felt, Izabela, we're really trying to forecast and try to get and glean some implications, what's going to happen in 2024, because things did not go for so many companies as they planned. Everybody were more on the fence, taking things slowly, didn't want to take a risk. And right now they're recognizing and realizing just because we're uncomfortable stalling, it's not necessarily the best approach and solution. But also knowing what is possible requires also for us to step, to push ourselves and to push our own perspectives by learning, experiencing, and as a result, creating new positive outcomes. So let me ask you this then. How these innovative approaches that I just shared would change some of your benchmarking for your own personal leadership performance and metrics that you attach to, or your team, or your program, or your whole organization? What benchmarks you can then influence from an industry perspective that can say how significantly we improved on outputs, on safety, on intervention, of apprehension of possible disaster, or whatever it might be, or situations that escalated by minimizing escalation. With all of that in mind, we have a tremendous opportunity to lean into this 2024 together, where we can really look at what's possible and how we can augment it this AI era with tremendous opportunity, growth, and transformation. So my question to you is, are you ready to discover how to, for your leadership, for your teams, and for your organization? I'm looking forward to hearing your questions, comments, and I cannot wait to hear What are you doing in your industry already that you wanted to share with others that makes you already on top of the game, an opportunity to teach others to do the same? Cheers.
Thank you for listening to Legacy Leader Show. If you enjoyed the content and had a positive experience, then please leave us a positive rating. In addition, leave us a positive review whenever you are listening on whatever platform there might be. Make sure your friends and family also know about the benefit and value that we provide and what we have to offer. Cheers.